Welcome to the Friends and Rivals podcast.
Tom and Steve are the best. Nick's not here today, but he's also very good. Tom and Steve rule. Yay, I'm so excited to be podcasting with my boys, Tom and Steve.
Episode 111 of the Friends and Rivals Tomcast coming in live and hot. I'm one of your hosts, Tom Harkness. Joining me each week are
Stephen Wojtowicz,
William Thomas Fougere.
Nick,
your cue.
Nick.
Nick will not be joining us this evening. He is on business in Chicago for the evening, and right now he texted me and let me know that he was in Bourbon Land and he was ordering deep dish and wings. So sounds like he's having a pretty good night.
Oh yeah.
Even though the Islanders just started the third period down 2-1 to Carolina, and it's the most wonderful time of the year. People may say that Christmas is. This is the most wonderful time of the year if your team is in the playoffs. If your team is not in the playoffs, it is misery.
I find it to be overrated. I don't.
What do you mean you find it to be overrated?
I don't know. I mean, there's games on, but I'm not very interested, so I don't see what the hubbub is.
All right, what's on your TV right now?
Well, right now it's the Islanders and the Hurricanes.
But yeah, I didn't want to watch the Bruins either.
I'm going to flip back to the Nets and the Sixers pretty soon. Basketball.
Outlook doesn't. That's the same thing that told you who's going to play in the NBA.
Well, exactly. So look out. You better start buying some season tickets. I plan to. I'm tall. I like wearing shorts. Hook. Dunk.
Not that tall.
Are you
I'm
serious?
all about basketball and baseball now. Go New York Knicks. They're up 1-0 on Cleveland. The Brunson, he's a player doing good.
I mean, that was solid basketball reporting, Bill. That was solid.
Thank you.
So the Penguins, even though they did miss the playoffs, unfortunately, they did have a very adventurous week. What happened?
Well, they missed the playoffs by 1 point. Well, technically 2 points because Florida had the tiebreaker, I suppose. And I don't know, do any of you remember a couple weeks ago I said how many points the Penguins would need to make it into the playoffs? Do you remember what that number was? As far as the wild card goes, I think that they're in a spot where they don't need to scoreboard watch, which is nice. They just need to count their points. They need about 15 more points. They got about 16 games to go. $93. Yeah, I called it a few weeks ago. I said 93 points, still get to the playoffs. And 93 points would have got them into the playoffs ahead of the 92 points that Florida got. So
didn't I lay out a plan on how they could achieve and get 93 points? Well, I think the Penguins get at least 16 from what I've counted, right? I didn't even count the 2 Ranger games this week, right? So Ottawa, you can probably go either way, but I'm giving that to the Penguins just because it's home. And they got Caps at Detroit, Nashville, Philly, Detroit, Chicago, Columbus. There's your 16 points.
Yeah, those bums didn't follow the plan. They kept losing to shitty teams.
They beat the Avalanche, but they lose to the fucking Blackhawks.
They had the last 2 games of the season. Then if they won both of those games, they would have been in the playoffs. They were playing the worst team in each conference. The Blackhawks and the Blue Jackets, literally the last place teams in each conference. And they won 0 of those games. And I guess after they lost the first one, there was maybe no motivation for Columbus, but because they knew they were done. But yeah, it was the worst third period team in the NHL, and the simple reason why is because they're too fucking old. I talked about all season how they blew third period leads. I talked about all the points they lost in those blown leads, but even beyond all of those instances of not picking up points when they had third period leads. It just felt like they lost all the key games the whole season long. Like I remember when we were at the point in the season when they were about to go on like the 10-day break over the All-Star break, and they were playing shitty San Jose right before the break. I said, that's a game they really need to kind of feel good about their first half going into the break. And they lose that game 6-4. And then the next month they're playing the Islanders. And even Nick said it on our podcast. The Islanders season felt like it was hanging in the balance right around mid-February. And the Penguins had the 2 games against them. And Nick had said, he felt like the Islanders needed to win both of those games in regulation for them to have a real playoff chance. Guess what they did? They won both of those games against the Penguins in regulation. So chances to put a little hurt on the Islanders. They didn't take advantage of it. March 4th, they played the Panthers. They really could have dealt like a death blow to the Panthers that day. They lost the game, and the Panthers, were, instead of being like 8 points out, they were like 4 points out or whatever they were. And those are the 2 teams that got past them. So it was like a series of just games all season long. Just the big one, they just never got over the top. And I think when the season ended that night, when the Islanders won their game and knocked them out right before the Penguins' last game of the season, like my immediate reaction was everybody who was involved in the decision last season. Before last season, to re-sign Malkin to 4 years and Letang to 6 more years and re-up this whole core group, which now they're saddled with. Everybody who touched that had to go. Like, that was my first thought is everybody, they got to clear house. And Fenway Sports Group, to their credit, has cleared house. And goodbye Ronnie Hextall, goodbye Brian Burke, goodbye whoever the assistant was to Hextall. They are all now unemployed with NHL teams, and they really deserve it. We're over the next few years, the Penguins aren't going to be able to escape that. The core 3 that they brought back. Who's going to take? You would take Malkin if it was the trade deadline and his contract was expiring, that somebody would find a deal for him. But nobody's going to take him for $6 million a year for 3 years. Like, you're not going to trade these guys away. They made
well. I don't know about that. If you retain some of the money, listen. We have found out over the past 3 years that there is no contract in the NHL that is untradeable.
Arizona will take. No, but that's the key thing. I should have qualified that by saying if they didn't retain some of the contract. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to keep paying these guys not to play for you, that's one way out of it. But how much are you going to really free up there? I don't know. But the choices of the old regime to just continually get older, going to last offseason, picking up Jeff Petrie. It was really when they picked up Petrie, they had to unload Marino. So while that wasn't a direct trade, that move was Petrie for Marino. That clearly didn't work out. You got Jan Rutta, who's mid-30s or early 30s, I guess, and he's got a couple more years on his contract. But Jesus Christ, go back to the expansion draft. And the choice that they made to trade Jared McCann, Jared McCann, 26 years old, who just scored 40 goals for the fucking Kraken. That was a trade they made because they weren't going to protect him, because they were going to protect Jeff Carter. Anybody who made that decision doesn't just deserve to be fired. I mean, they should be thrown off a fucking bridge.
I didn't look at the stats. What did Jeff Carter have? 45, 48 goals? How many goals did he have? He had to have more.
What in his total Penguin career?
I don't know. Jeff Carter disappeared for like 2 months. Didn't even find the score sheet. I don't think his line found the score sheet for like 2 months, from like January until like the middle of March. And then at the trade deadline, they did some things to free up some cap space. What do? They go and get older again. They go get Nick Bonino. They go get Dmitry Kulikov and Michael Granlund. Michael Granlund, who's got 2 more years at $5 million a year on his contract. Brutal. Just brutal. Like, what did you even make the room for to fill it up with more shitty contracts for ineffective players? Bonito and Kulikov, I think, played 3 games between the 2 of them before they were both hurt, and because you're trading for these old guys.
Sounds like the Rangers of the late 90s, early 2000s.
And the last thing I'm going to touch on is the pipeline, the prospect pipeline. There is none. out of all these things, they held on to their first round pick this year. Hooray!
It's going to be a good one.
Look, their two biggest prospects coming into the season, Nathan Legare and Sam Poulin. Okay, both guys from Quebec Major Junior that had some success in the late teens, in Quebec Major Junior. Legare scored like 35 points in 2 AHL seasons, the last 2 seasons. And Poulin quit. Poulin quit fucking hockey. He's gone. 22 years old. They're both fucking done. Like, what the fuck? I think because like of the success that the Penguins had with Crosby and Letang and Fleury from the all the Quebec guys that they had, maybe that was what they were trying to keep going with, because of Mario's link to Quebec hockey. But Jesus, I mean, you look around the league and you see all these guys playing in the NCAA that finish their NCAA seasons and they're fucking NHL ready. They're NHL ready right when it's done. And you got the Devin Levi going up to Buffalo. You got the Hughes kid going to the Devils. Guys signed into the AHL or NHL level. Like, they got to turn their focus from Quebec Major Junior, which hasn't produced a star since Nathan McKinnon, who played there a decade ago. So guys, I mean, they got to get with it on so many levels. They're about to go into an ugly time. And the Fenway Sports Group this week talking about like getting rid of Hextall and Burke and moving on. Like, but even those guys said that who were these guys now? Kevin Ackland and David Beeston are running the show from Fenway Sports Group, and they just seem like they're corporate guys from Boston who are just stepping in and saying whatever they want to say. But like they're talking about, oh, we got to make this team competitive again next year. No, you don't. You're not going to get there. You gotta like blow this thing up. It is time to blow it up. It's not time to try to figure out another way to try to get to the playoffs with those guys. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. There's only so many Band-Aids you can apply.
That's it. So, okay, now nobody has to hear me talk until next season.
Well, out of all of this, Mike Sullivan seems to have not been touched. Is he going to be a casualty in all of this, or is he part of the solution moving forward?
It could very well depend on the general manager and who they bring in to run their new hockey operations department, because they might have somebody in mind. They might want to go a different way. So I think his job is very much in the balance. But the guys from Fenway Sports Group have given him a vote of confidence, and I think he really deserves it. I mean, I'm not putting this shit show on him whatsoever. I think he's a great coach, and I think it would be a huge mistake to lose him over this.
It's just always so amazing to me when the fans can know a move is shitty right off the bat. Like, nobody thought the Hextall move was a good move for the Penguins. And right. I don't think anybody thought the Burke move was a good move for the Penguins. Right.
And the moves to hire them and then the moves they subsequently made, like it does bother me. I mean, you guys have known me a long time. The worst thing you could do as a sports franchise in my eyes is go and make moves that I know are shitty, but like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, maybe they know something I don't know. And then when it proves out that you didn't know something I don't know, that really bothers me. That when the fans can start running the team better than the people whose job it is to understand the talent that they have and understand the right moves to make, that is not good. But on the bright side, I don't have to stress out over.
You could just sit back. The first time in 16 years, you could just sit back and relax.
Yeah, I got no dog in the fight. Let it all unfold.
On the flip side of that, the three, I don't know about Nick. Nick is probably having a very good time tonight. But it's just been agonizingly sick about the next couple
we go now to Nick. Fuck it, my team is losing. I don't care. Whatever, man.
Can we get more deep dish? It's fucking delicious.
It's fucking windy here, man. What the fuck?
Bourbon Town.
That does sound exactly like Nick right now.
Yep. So yes, you were saying very nerve-wracking time.
Extremely nerve-wracking, because listen, you want your team to come out and play well and play up to what you believe they can, but you don't know if they're going to. Like people are making a big deal about the Devils' inexperience in the playoffs. It's hockey. Okay. You don't, I think experience in the playoffs is a little overrated, but they got guys on their team who have been there before, right? This is the reason why they got Palat. Heischer's been to the playoffs before.
He played 5 games. I mean, he's been to the playoffs, but he's played 5
Marino's
games.
been there. Hamilton has been there.
Yes.
Vanacek has been there. There's a ton of guys on this team that have been there already. And to tell me that they're inexperienced, I don't know. Maybe as a group playing together, yes, they're all first year all together. But I don't know. I don't buy this experience.
They have 9 guys that are going to be making their playoff debut. The Rangers, Jimmy Vesey has the least amount of experience on their roster with 16 games.
Yeah, his first year in the league was the only year he made the playoffs.
Yeah. So, I mean, 9 guys versus, everybody on the roster, that makes a difference. I agree with you. I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. It makes a difference to me because you know what to expect for your team. You saw your team go on a deep run in the playoffs. I don't know how my guys are going to be affected by the playoffs or if they will be affected by the playoffs because I don't have a history of these guys in the playoffs. I do think, and I was going to make this point a little bit later, definitely helps that they're going up against the Rangers versus them going up against a team like Carolina or a team like Florida. There's that built-in intensity playing the Rangers, even during the regular season.
Okay. But I don't get what would make a difference between Carolina and New York.
They wouldn't get up for a game, I think.
It's the playoffs. You're up for every game, dude.
But that's just it. If you're inexperienced, maybe you don't get up for game 1 of the playoffs because it's against say they beat out Carolina for the Metro and they were playing Florida. Maybe they come in with a little bit of this is going to be easy. We're the higher seed. We should win this. We just, again, that's the X factor. You don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's where the inexperience factor comes into play for sure. I saw an interesting note tonight on the ESPN telecast of the Hurricanes Islanders.
That was probably the first time that sentence has ever been said.
But for as good as Carolina has been the past 3-4 years, what's their record in the playoffs?
163-4.
No.
Oh.
It's not that. That's a little ridiculous.
How many years are you talking?
I'm guessing. How long has Brind'Amour been their head coach? Because it was about Brind'Amour.
Okay.
So what? Past
5 years? 6 years?
Yeah, 5-6 years.
Can't be better
25 wins.
They are no more than a 500 hockey club in the playoffs. 24-24. It's unfucking believable.
But
how they can be so dominant in the regular season, but when it comes to playoffs, man, they just have a hard time. And they're plenty experienced.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say too. Is there's the experience factor. The experience factor is one thing, but the other thing is when you got a team that's new to the playoffs like the Devils, we're going to find out, are they really constructed to be a playoff team? Are they really going to be able to respond to the kind of changes in the game that happen in the playoffs? Because the Hurricanes are exactly an example of a team that I don't feel like is a threat in the playoffs. I don't take them seriously. They might win a round or something, but I don't take them seriously to think about them as a long run Stanley Cup contender, even though they're almost in first place every year.
They're a team that looks on paper and even in the physical appearance that they're built for the playoffs. And they're just no more than a 500 hockey club. It really boggles my mind with them. And watch.
Well, the only way you get to be,
now I'm saying this, they're going to win the cup this year. By the way,
the only way you get to be better than that record wise is going on multiple deep runs, right?
Yep.
If you lose it, if you win a series 4-3 and you lose a series 4-3, you're a 500 team in the playoffs.
Good math. I checked the math.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, that's what happened last year.
Yep.
They beat the Bruins in 7. They lost to the Rangers in 7. So that right there, that's half of the game total. No, it's a quarter of the game total we just talked about. So I don't know.
I mean, I get your point though. Yes.
So,
They're not putting away that first round in 4 games to 1. Like
No, and
maybe
that
they
was-
should be.
and Billy bitched and moaned at me last year. That was the Rangers' biggest problem, was not finishing these teams off early
Yeah.
and getting the rest that you need to get into the second round. But by the time the third round comes around, you played, 2 7-game series and you're just fucking spent.
You're just done. Yeah.
So I think the Rangers got to try and do a better job of that. Although I don't see that in the first round. Maybe they learn. And even listen, with all of these teams in the playoffs, and it's probably good to just jump right into our picks.
Yeah, man.
Florida, are they the only team that is like not a team that you're worried about? Like if the Devils were playing the Florida Panthers, would you be so worried, Steve?
Again, I would be worried not by the Florida Panthers. I would be worried by how my players are going to react to playing in the playoffs.
Yeah, and
So no, I wouldn't worry about the Florida
Panthers.
Panthers. It would be a similar level to what I got going on now, even though I'm more worried about the Rangers specifically. But I would also have that fear of not knowing how my team is going to handle playing in the playoffs.
Right. No, I hear you. But again, even if you compare the Rangers team from last year to this
Do
year,
you think
they're a completely different team.
Do you think Edmonton is at all worried about LA?
100%. I would be. In the West, I mean, maybe Seattle. So I don't think they can skate with Colorado. But if you're Dallas, you want to play Minnesota? Probably not.
No.
Even if you're Vegas, do you want to play Winnipeg? Winnipeg's a big team.
Yes.
So again, there's teams in here that you don't want to play regardless of what round you're in. And it's going to be, it just speaks volumes to the NHL about the competitive balance that I believe that's in the league right now. All right. So playoff predictions. You want to start West or East? Fuck the West. Let's start East. And let's start
Flyers. Wait a minute. Fuck the West.
Fuck the. Sure.
Fuck the Flyers. I'm always up for fucking the Flyers.
Okay.
Wait, no.
I would say
fuck the Flyers.
I would say do the West first if we're going to do the West, and then save the best for the end.
All right. I guess we can do that. Maybe I should have had Nick's picks queued up, huh?
It's like putting the ending of the movie first. Who are you, M. Night Shyamalan?
Who?
That guy.
M. Night Shyamalan ding dong. All right. Let's see what Nick did. If I can find it.
I would bet even Nick's picks are very long and drawn out and explained in depth.
They're basic as you can possibly imagine.
All right.
He's not giving us a goal by goal breakdown of the series predictions.
I'm sorry, what?
We're not getting a goal by goal breakdown of the series predictions.
No. But you are going to get a total games of the series for sure. Wow.
Okay.
In the first round.
No, he did all the way
Of
to the
course he
cup
did.
final.
Aye. He's thorough.
Of course
He is very, very thorough. All right, let's go out west. We got Colorado, Seattle. We got
Colorado in 4.
Colorado in 5.
Colorado in 5. I agree. Nick also has the Avs in 5. What a dumbass. He has Dallas and Nashville in the next game.
Okay.
Nick, Nashville is not in the playoffs, buddy.
Nick, you're going to laugh when you listen to this podcast.
Oh boy.
He was drunk when he put it together.
Maybe let's just pretend that Minnesota is Nashville.
Right. I mean,
Let's pretend.
I guess so. I guess he's not picking Nashville to win. I'm assuming.
he's got Nashville winning the cup, ironically. I don't know.
That would be pretty difficult to do.
Okay, so Dallas, Minnesota.
Yes, Dallas,
Bill?
Minnesota.
Dallas in 4.
Whoa.
Dallas in 6.
I have Dallas in 5. And Nick has Dallas in 6, beating the Nashville Predators.
Beating the Nashville Wild.
We got the Vegas Golden Knights and the Jets.
Jets
So wait,
in
before
4.
you go on,
Oh,
ironically enough, I was listening to NHL radio today. The guy who owns the Jets, like who brought them into the league,
We're talking
apparently
Winnipeg, not
named them
New York,
after
right?
the New York Jets.
No shit.
He
How
asked
about
he
that?
asked the owner of the New York Jets for permission to name them the Winnipeg Jets.
I don't think you need permission, though, do you?
No. He wanted to do it as an homage.
Okay.
Fucking loser. All right, sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
weirdo.
That's why they're going to lose.
Well, that's why I'm picking the Jets. Jets in 4.
Whoa!
Sensing a trend here. I've got Las Vegas in 6, although I was tempted to pick the Jets.
I have Vegas in 5. Nick has Vegas in 5 as well.
No
Kings
faith in
Oilers.
Kyle Connor, huh?
Fuck Kyle Connor, overrated bum.
I got the Oilers in 7.
What?
Wow.
Wow. I've got Edmonton in 5.
I got Edmonton in 6. Nick's got Kings in 6.
Wow. Do you
That's
think
bold
maybe he meant the
statement,
Sharks,
Cotton.
though?
Huh?
Do you think maybe he meant the Sharks?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Let's start over in the Atlantic. Now we got Bruins, Panthers.
I got the Bruins in 4.
I've got the Bruins in 5.
Bruins in 4, and Nick's got Bruins in 6.
Wow.
Lightning, Leafs. Is this the year that Toronto does something?
It is the year Toronto wins in 7.
In 4?
Wow.
Oh, in 7. Wow.
I have Toronto in 7 as well.
Nick and I both have Tampa in 7. And
Wow.
Nick goes on to state that the Leafs blow another Game 7 lead.
Well,
Canes, Islanders.
I like the Islanders. I was gonna say 4, but Carolina's looking like they might win this game, so I'm gonna say 5. Islanders in 5.
I think that's cheating, but okay. I've got Carolina in 7.
Ooh. I have the Islanders in 6, and Nick has the Canes in 6, upending his own team. And now with what we hope is the series of the first round,
The
Rangers,
one we've all been waiting
Devils.
for.
What?
Rangers, Devils. I got the Devils winning the series in 7 games. Jack Hughes, triple overtime winner on a Michigan.
Wow.
I really hope that doesn't happen. I really don't hope. I really hope that doesn't happen.
I have the Rangers in 7.
I have the Devils in 7. Nick, Rangers in 5.
5. Ooh.
So
Wowzers.
2 of the 4 series that the Rangers have beat the Devils, they won in 5 games.
Yes. And they're the
So-
more recent. They're the more recent ones. The
Yes.
first 2 were in 7.
97 and 08.
Yep. Second round. I mean, it would be, I guess, Stars and Avalanche.
For me, it would be, yep. And I'm taking the Stars in
Ooh.
6.
Dethroning the champs.
I didn't
Yes,
pick
sir.
games for the
I didn't
second
either.
round, but I've got the
I'm just
Stars
throwing
as
games
well.
out there anyway.
I have the Avs. Depending on who you got, Vegas, Edmonton, or LA.
I got the Jets and the Oilers in that round, and
I forgot about the Jets. I'm
taking-
sorry.
I'm taking the Oilers to get to the conference final.
I have got the Nashville Predators. I've got
Just sneaking in everywhere.
I've got the Oilers of Edmonton.
Yeah, I have the Oilers as well. Over in the other ones, we all got Boston versus either Toronto or Tampa.
I've got Boston beating Toronto in the second round.
Likewise, Boston over Toronto.
I have Tampa over the Bruins, and Nick has the Bruins over the Bolts. And then depending on who you got, I'm looking at Nick's, and he's got Canes Rangers with the Canes in 7. Fuck yourself, Nick.
Coming from the guy who didn't even pick his own team in the first round.
Jerk. Sorry.
All right, so mine is a matchup between the Islanders and the Devils, and I got the Islanders in 7.
I got the Rangers going on.
I have Devils, Islanders, and I have the Islanders winning that one.
Stanley Cup Finals?
No, conference finals.
Well, no. Now we got to do who's winning each conference. Who's in the Stanley Cup Final?
Who's going to? Yes. So depending on who you got, who's your Western Conference champ?
So my Western Conference champ is going to be the Dallas Stars beating the Oilers to advance to the finals.
Dallas Stars.
Edmonton Oilers for me. Nick's got the Kings in the final.
Jesus.
Wow.
He knows it's not 2012 or 14, right?
Right. Thank God.
He knows it's just a statue of Dustin Brown out there. He didn't come back to play.
Yeah, I guess. In the Eastern Conference final, I have a rematch of Tampa and the Islanders, and I have Tampa going back to the final.
And I've got Boston playing the Islanders, and I have Boston advancing to the final.
I have Boston and the Rangers in the final. I have Boston going.
And for your Stanley Cup final prediction, Connor McDavid hoists the Stanley Cup.
I've got Brad Marchand hoisting the Stanley Cup.
Why would Marchand?
He's the captain, right? Who's the hell's the captain?
Bergeron is.
Oh, Bergeron, whatever.
I have Patrice Bergeron coming off the bench because he didn't play in the game because he was injured for some reason, coming out to hoist the Stanley Cup after the victory in Game 6.
Nick has the Bruins over the King in a sweep, which actually would make a lot of sense if that happened. So there you have it. All of our predictions are coming true.
Again, listen to NHL Radio today, and there was a call-in segment. A lot of people have the Edmonton Oilers winning the Stanley Cup.
I mean, you look at
the goaltending. I just don't think it's there.
You look at the ESPN smart guys on the Twitter, and they're all picking Edmonton. Just, it was similar to what they did last year. There was a lot of people that picked the Oilers last year too.
Crazy.
And the Avs. I mean, I think the Avs were the overwhelming favorite last year.
They're this year's Bruins.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't. What are the Bruins doing right now?
Playing hockey.
They're up 3-1. Last I saw, they were up 3-1.
Yeah, the Islanders really were the only team that had a chance to knock them out in the first round of everybody that was there. I'm really upset with the Islanders that they had to finish where they finished. Would have liked to rather, Florida, Carolina, Islanders, Boston is just, it's better for the sport.
It's got a better feel for it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. What the hell's next on the agenda? God damn it.
Are we just breezing over the final games of the regular season for our teams here?
I mean,
yours were pretty much meaningless.
Yeah, they were all meaningless.
I mean, outside of the Luke Hughes, overtime goal.
Well, we're not riding the Metro yet.
That's fine.
We didn't get there yet.
Okay.
We'll get there. I promise. So Kevin Weeks has been mouthing on Twitter and Butchie Gross. I mean, them two for the past, few weeks have been breaking news on Twitter about the northern Atlanta suburb of Alpharetta, building a hockey arena facility. It's 18,000 seat arena that can obviously house an NHL franchise. And they all seem to think that Atlanta is going to get an NHL franchise. And we know that they're not going to do an expansion. So of all of the teams that are in the NHL right now, give me, if not your top 5, give me your top 3 franchises that could find themselves in Atlanta. You want to surprise one first?
Sure.
Yes.
It might piss somebody off.
Go ahead.
The New Jersey Devils.
Okay. Why?
I just think because their numbers are extremely low. Their television market is oversaturated. And I think there would be more money spent on the Islanders and Rangers franchises. That's probably better for the sport if the Devils were not part of that metropolitan.
Okay.
I don't know what the metropolitan area area, right?
Legitimate reasons.
So I think the Devils would be a team on my list to move.
Okay. It's not like it's never been rumored before, right? I mean, we
No,
went through this
of course.
in the
And
'90s.
you can say the same thing about the Islanders, except I don't know if the Islanders just built a new arena, so I think that's more
Prudential
unlikely to
Center is
happen.
fairly new. It's newer than Madison Square Garden.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot. It's like moving fucking another team. It's like moving the Cowboys.
Oh, I don't think the Rangers are moving. That's for sure.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I mean, obviously, we all agree Arizona is number one on the list,
I think
Yeah.
on everybody's list, I think Arizona is number one. on
right?
everybody's
Yeah.
list.
Makes perfect sense. Yeah.
But I don't think they can move a Canadian team out of Canada down.
Arizona's not in Canada, Tom.
No, I know that. But if you were talking maybe
No.
Winnipeg or Ottawa for that matter, I don't think you can move any of those Canadian franchises out of Canada.
So
I think you
Winnipeg,
can move a U.S. team to Canada, but I don't think I don't think you can do it vice versa.
Winnipeg just got the team back too recently. And Ottawa's got the whole potential that Ryan Reynolds is going to buy them.
Why couldn't he buy him and move him?
No, he would, because he's an Ottawa boy. He would never do that. The whole point of him buying them would be to leave them in Canada.
Okay.
Does Quebec still have a team?
No, sir. No. Fresh out.
Why do you say not expansion over a team moving?
Because you would have to do two franchises, or else
Okay.
you'd have,
So
or
why
else
not?
you'd be out of whack.
Why not do two
And
franchises?
do they want to saturate the talent that much to do that? I don't know. 32 teams is a lot of teams.
I think we recently spoke about that on the
Yeah,
on the Friends and Rivals
What
podcast.
everybody else is moving to.
No, we certainly did. But is everybody else saying that there's going to be an expansion team?
No,
As
I'm saying that's what
opposed to-
every other league is moving towards.
They're moving toward more teams.
Yeah.
Well, who is 32 the highest number of teams?
I think
In a
32 is
sport?
the highest. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I think Pittsburgh can move. Jokes aside, I think if we're not talking about like a year or two from now, and we're like projecting this, a few years down the line, 5 years, 6 years, whatever. Yeah, the Penguins Mario is no longer involved in ownership, and he's the guy who saved them, kept them there. It was a perfect storm for him to come in and have the success they had and to set up the franchise. But you look at how the next few years might go, how the interest might wane there. They could find themselves, on that troublesome side in the not too distant future, and be like one of those teams that might be a candidate to move again.
How does Florida do?
Well, I'm just looking up TV markets to try and compare Atlanta's TV market versus Miami's TV market.
Yeah.
Miami is number 18 and Atlanta's number 6. I can 1000% see the Florida Panthers moving to Atlanta.
Yeah.
100%. I could definitely see that.
Just feel like any team in Southern Florida never, outside of the Dolphins,
Well, the Marlins have won championships.
but they don't draw for shit.
No, they don't. The Heat have won championships. I mean, but it's basketball, and football and basketball are going to draw.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. But I don't know if you know this or not. I don't know if you know the layout, but the Panthers are not in downtown Miami. They're in a
Sunrise,
fucking
right?
7th suburb of Miami to the west, as close to Alligator Alley as you can be, and as far away from downtown Miami or Fort Lauderdale you could possibly be, with still being within that district or in that county. They can't be any fucking further away. If they were downtown, I don't know, maybe they could draw a little bit more. But being where they are in Sunrise is just so fucking far away. And I get it. Look, there's a lot of money out where they are right now in Sunrise and in the surrounding towns. So they're getting people to spend money on tickets, but they couldn't be any further away from Miami.
You're not getting the corporate bucks out there.
No, definitely not. You're not getting those that, you're just finishing work, you're downtown, you're just going to go and watch a game, or you got your high rises down there. I mean, I don't I don't get it. But I can, the Florida Panthers, I might move them ahead of the New Jersey Devils in my book as a potential
So
franchise.
Arizona and Florida.
Yep.
Bill's saying Pittsburgh.
Mm.
Columbus? What's Columbus do?
Ew. That's a good point. Why did they ever go there in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I don't think that's a good.
Well, listen, Cleveland, Columbus.
It's not close to Columbus.
I mean, they're closer to fucking Cleveland than I am. I mean, 19 and 32 are the TV markets for Columbus and Cleveland. Cleveland is up there.
Yeah, but I don't think people from Cleveland like people from Columbus. I don't think if you're from Cleveland, Ohio, you're going to root for the Blue Jackets because they're an Ohio team.
No, maybe not.
That would be like the Buffalo Sabres rooting for somebody in Buffalo rooting for the Rangers because they're both New York teams.
It's definitely not Buffalo. I don't think Buffalo is going to move.
No, but I'm saying it's like that. To say that Cleveland.
I know.
I think Toronto could move. Okay, now I'm just fucking around.
Were we talking about Toronto getting another franchise as a town that could sustain a second franchise?
Toronto and Atlanta expansion.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hamilton, put one in Hamilton and one in Atlanta.
All right. Listen, I'm all for it, but I don't.
So economically, it makes so much more sense to do that because these guys got to pay to join the league. And then that money gets all divvied up amongst the owners. So why not have two times the revenue coming in versus just one team moving markets?
Yeah, but it's Arizona. Are they really making money for everybody else?
I mean,
are they going to get a new arena?
They're supposed to.
Yeah, I know. I know they're supposed to. They're supposed to. I don't know. All right, let's take a ride in the Metro. Sponsored by Rich Wholesome Nestle Quick.
Hello, boys and girls. Do you hate the taste of regular milk and need energy? Try Nestle Quick. One sip and you can feel the energy in your muscles. Nestle Quick, now available in chocolate and strawberry.
They say the real men drink pink. Then I'm a real man for sure. But if you like the brown, I still love you for who you are. Because it's time for acceptance of everyone, all preference. We're all quick on the inside anyway. Nestle Quick, it does the trick.
I think we've heard enough about the Penguins, Bill. I don't.
No, I really want to say a few more things.
No.
What you want to talk about the goalie situation? Is that what you wanted to do?
He wants to announce that they've just signed a defenseman because they haven't had enough of those this season.
I guess we're not talking about UFAs yet, right? That's for the
No.
Okay, you pass.
Put that on the back burner.
Me. Yeah.
Nick, you want to talk about the Islanders game one reaction? Go ahead.
Nick, go ahead. We want to hear your pain.
Nick, put down your deep dish for just a second and talk to us.
Nick, this is Steve, and I just wanted to tell you, it's not your fault. Okay, it's not your fault. All right, buddy.
You know what's so funny to me? You think that he's listening.
He's never gonna listen.
So funny to me.
It's a fantastic point you've made.
All right, Steve. Now is the time to talk about the Devils' last couple of games.
So last two games, victory 6-2 over the Buffalo Sabres. Saw Luke Hughes make his debut. Jack setting the franchise record for most points in the season. It was a very well-balanced attack. And it also culminated in the Devils clinching home ice in the first round of the playoffs.
Culmination.
Thursday, April 13th, was a 5-4 victory over the Washington Capitals that saw the Devils down 3-0 and 4-1 at points throughout the game. Mackenzie Blackwood not making a stellar impression on coaches giving up 4 goals on 11 shots, which has led them to have 3 goalies on the playoff roster. They did battle back as Akira Schmid came in and shut the Capitals out for the rest of the game, which led to Luke Hughes's thrilling first NHL goal. Overtime, wraparound goal, assisted by Jack Hughes. So do you want to play the clip of the video?
Hughes works it down low, and he feeds it back to Luke Hughes. So again, 3-on-3 because of the overtime. If these penalties went past the expiration, could have gone to 4-on-4. A shot from Luke Hughes is denied. Luke Hughes on the wraparound. He scores his first career NHL goal. Ends the regular season with a record 52nd. Devils win. They are ready for the Rangers.
That was how the season wrapped up for the New Jersey Devils.
Nice.
Like the Rangers played meaningless games down the stretch that no one really cares about. Now it's all about getting ready to play the New Jersey Devils and the test that is going to be for them for sure.
So shall we talk about that?
I can't listen to Devils fans on Twitter anymore. It's not that I'm blocking them. I'm not unfollowing them. I'm just scrolling past them really quick because somebody put the stats up between Schmidt and Shesterkin and said, Game 7, who you got? I mean, I vomited in my mouth, and 2, it was the most ridiculous fucking post I have ever seen in my entire life.
How about this though? When asked, would he go Schmid over Blackwood as the backup? Lindy Ruff said, I just haven't seen Akira play enough this season to make that decision.
This is why right now. This is why I love Lindy Ruff.
Schmid played 2 less games in the NHL than Mackenzie Blackwood this season.
Yeah, but he's talking his career though, Steve. His career.
No. He said this season.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Do they? You know what they should start doing though?
Trying to fucking defend Lindy Ruff. Oh my God.
I got an idea. That they should in Utica, they should record the games. They should record those games.
They don't have that technology.
Like put them on video. Like somebody shoot it with a smartphone or something.
Literally send him a VCR.
I've seen youth hockey players like put a GoPro up behind the goaltender so that they can see how they do. I mean, it's pretty easy to do, guys.
It's Utica, Bill. They just got Star Wars.
Miami Vice, a new show.
I give me 2 keys for the Rangers in this series is going to be goaltending and limiting the transition game of the New Jersey Devils. If they can contain them and control the neutral zone, not like trap style, I'm not going there, but just control and contain their transition game and get really good goaltending. I think this is a no-brainer.
Hands down, that second point is exactly what they've struggled with against teams like Boston, who negated their speed, not matched their speed, but negated it. And they have no way to overcome that.
No, and Devils just from the game, they didn't play the Rangers. They sat and they preyed on their turnovers and just went the other way with speed. And the Rangers just had no fucking answer. Zero. Yeah.
So for me, it's a matchup of speed versus size. And it could come down to power play versus penalty kill. So Rangers 7th in power play in the league, 24.1%. Devils 4th in penalty kill, 82.6%. And I think that really could be a point where you tip the scales in favor of one team.
Devils still a bad home ice team, or they got better during the course of the year?
They got better as the season went on. That was an early season thing. What I would love to see the Devils do is try and get in Shesterkin's head. And I'm not talking run him, but I'm talking, just that extra jab with the stick as the whistle's blowing, or definitely get somebody in his face, screen him as much as you can. And that's, I think, where Timo will come in very handy. He does that very well. He's a big body in front of the net. I would really love to see them do that.
I could see a Trouba going for a big hit in game one. And I'm not sure who it's going to be, but I can see him going for a big hit in game one, just to kind
Set
of
the tone.
establish that type of game.
I didn't mention this the last time they played, but I had it in my notes to mention. Were you surprised with the lack of animosity between the two the last time they played? I feel like there was no after whistle scuffles. There were certainly no fights.
The Rangers never showed up to that game, so I don't know what you were watching.
No,
the Rangers never showed up.
Show up in terms of competitiveness on the scoreboard, but there was still no intensity after the whistle. There was no setting the tone for a possible playoff series like you would expect to see.
And that's why I'm very nervous about this series, is that they know it's a big game. But even toward the end of the regular season, would it have mattered if they played hard and lost? Yeah, it would have mattered a lot. But man, I just figured that at that type of time of the season where you want to send a message to who you might play in the first round, you would actually show up and show some intensity. And they didn't. And that's what scares me about this fucking team is I hope they show up with some intensity. It's game one. It's the Devils. You better fucking show up with some intensity.
I agree with you there. And that's exactly why you'll probably remember before the season began, the Rangers were my pick to win the cup. Now I'm not picking them to get out of the first round. I think they have a very good chance to beat the Devils. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not prognosticating that I know that I'm some genius that knows how this thing's going to end. I think it should be a really good series. I'm not sure who's going to win, but they were my favorite before the season started. And exactly for the reasons you said, I just don't see them stepping up and making and having like that intensity and making those big statement, having those big statement wins and just seeing, that overall growth that gives me the confidence that they're going to walk through the first round.
Look, if they come out and they play like they played Toronto or not Toronto, Tampa toward the end of the year, if they play that style of game, it's going to be very hard for the Devils to establish the transition game. It's going to be hard for them to use their speed. It's going to be very difficult on them. And if the Rangers come out and play their game, they should succeed in this series. But it like you said, it's a huge fucking question mark because they've shown it in spurts. They haven't shown it in any sort of consistency this year. I look back on our preseason over-unders today for some stupid reason. The over-under on the Pens was 101.5. And there was a lot of us that took the over. Billy was the only one who took the under.
Okay.
The Rangers were 99.5. I think the majority of us picked the over.
We went over.
The Islanders were projected, I think somewhere around 92 and a half. And we were split on that 50-50. But the Devils were 89 and a half, I think was their preseason prediction. We all picked the over. So
yeah,
bravo to all of us. Go back to, I believe it was episode 5 of this season.
And I think was I the only one that picked the Devils to actually make the playoffs? Because I definitely did.
I didn't get that far after the
well, go back tomorrow.
Plus minus.
Go back tomorrow and report next Monday.
I'm not going to do that. Feel free to go back and take a listen at our ridiculous. That was just before we drafted Friends and Rivals.
Now Nick's not here. We can't talk about that.
What do you mean we can't talk about this?
Nope, skip it. We can't talk about it. Nick's not here. It wouldn't be fair to him.
I agree. We kind of have to. We got to have him deliver the news. He's been giving us
I guess, but we're all really happy except for one person.
And we could let Steve sweat it out for another week.
Lay that one more week.
We got the rest of his life after next week. Let's just.
Well, Steve, good luck to you this first round.
Likewise, good luck to you, my friend.
I hope you both lose.
Tom and I have made a gentleman's agreement to both be very civil as these possibly 2 weeks go on.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything that I wouldn't have done in the regular season.
Well, you're quite an asshole during the regular season.
Well, I mean, listen, you've been known to be the C word.
Oh my. Mommy,
Chicken
Daddy.
Yes.
Don't fight.
And now it's time for Trivia with Bill. Yuck.
Now this is the wrong Bill.
This is gonna suck too. We're down a player.
It's not like we're keeping track of this.
I'm just saying we're down a player.
This could be torture for
Is
Bill.
that gonna help or hurt our cause? Since
You don't have
shall
any voice
soon
of reason,
find
Bill.
out.
Sorry.
I mean, maybe there's gonna be 1/3 fewer wrong answers this time, and we're gonna get that much faster to the answer. Okay,
Maybe not.
who was the first hockey player to win?
Wayne Gretzky.
No, he's on the multiple choice. He was not the winner.
He
Not the
almost
winner.
Good hockey player. I just figured.
Wayne Gretzky's been on the multiple choice of like every question.
Just
list.
every week.
Anyway, who was the first hockey player to win Sportsman of the Year honors from Sports Illustrated?
Boom Boom Jeffrey on.
Not Boom. It was not Boom Boom, but thank you, Doc,
Lester
for-
Patrick.
Nope, not Lester Patrick. That definitely predated the Sportsman of the Year award. Now,
James Patrick.
James Patrick. Better guess, incorrect. Still,
Patrick Marlowe.
it was nothing. Nobody with a Patrick in the
Patrick
name. If you want
Waugh.
that hint, it was not Patrick.
Patrick
That was not
Lalline.
Pat Roy.
Travis
No.
Roy.
No, it was no. You don't have to go into the Roys now. No,
Roy
it was
Rogers.
not. Roy Rogers was
Roger
not.
McDowell.
He was a good reliever for the Mets. Pete
Annie
definitely
McDowell.
appreciates that reference, but no, not Andy.
Dowells in Queens.
You know what's funny about that is they don't have a sesame seed bun.
No, they don't. See, I'm
They have the Big
washing
Mac.
lettuce.
We got the Big Mick.
Larry
No.
Murphy.
Larry Murphy. No, and that wasn't Eddie Murphy. Wasn't Murphy Brown.
Taylor
Brown.
Hall.
It wasn't Taylor Hall. It wasn't Taylor Swift. It wasn't Lawrence Taylor.
I was going Arsenio Hall because I was still on the
Oh, okay.
Coming to America thing.
James Earl Jones.
No, not James Earl Jones.
James Neal.
Not James
Neil Patrick Harris.
That was you got a Neil and a Patrick. That was two of the names we were going with. That's fantastic.
Franco
I wish that
Harris.
was correct, but it was not Franco Harris. Not Franco Harris. Rest in peace. No,
John
Frank
Franco.
Reich.
neither one of those. This was a hockey player.
Oh, a hockey.
Going back,
That's odd.
who was
Frank
the first
Buchek.
Sportsman of the Year hockey player? No.
Senior or junior?
Both.
Incorrect.
And it's not Wayne Gretzky, right?
It was not Wayne Gretzky.
Hmm.
It was not Wayne Primo.
Sports Illustrated came out in like the
It was not John
60s.
Wayne.
Mario Lemieux.
Not Mario Lemieux.
Was he on the? Was he one of the choices?
Not on the multiple choice.
Jaromir Jagr.
Not Jaromir Jagr. Would you like to know the other multiple choices?
No.
Paul
Absolutely not,
Coffey.
not yet.
Not Paul Coffey. Was never a Penguin, in fact.
Sergei Gonchar's out.
Yes, he is out.
Alex Ovechkin.
Not Alex Ovechkin.
Sid Abel.
No, not Sid Abel.
Sid Caesar.
Not Sid.
Caesar
not Sid
salad.
Not Caesar salad. Not Caesar Augustus. Not.
Augustus Gloop.
Don't know who that is. No.
Willy
That's the
Wonka.
fat guy from Willy Wonka. What do you mean you don't know who that was? He
I
ate
didn't.
everything.
I never
Mike-
saw Willy Wonka.
Mike Radio.
Oh, Mike TV.
No.
Violet Beauregard.
No.
I mean, I'll just say it for Rukus Salt.
Great
Love that
band.
band. Love that band.
Great band.
Casey.
Casey Fougere.
No, not Casey Boucher.
Going
Even
up
though
to
he
the
scored the
glass
champion.
going up to the
championship
glass and
overtime
giving the
winner
heart
this year.
symbol to his dad. That's
Look at my girlfriend and not my dad.
1960s, I would guess, right? That's where we're
I think we're in 60s, 70s. Not sure which. but
Larry Robinson.
Definitely one of those. Not Larry Robinson. No.
Raj Gilbert.
Oh, great guess. No.
I bet you. How about
Why
they
was it a
went
great
with
guess?
they went with a twofer, the Esposito brothers.
Oh,
Oh.
Phil and Bobby.
Very good guess too, but no. See, at least you're getting around. You're getting to like you're starting to talk about teammates of his. That's great.
Is it
Oh.
hockey's
Red Hall?
first family, the Suter
No.
family?
No, I thought it was the
Not
Sittler
Suter
family.
Whatever.
You want to know what his number was, or
Classic. No, because that'll give it away.
Ray Bork.
That's what I'm trying to give it away. No, it wasn't Ray Bork. No.
Phil Bork.
No. Again, it was not anybody who ever played for the Penguins. So no.
Stan Mikita.
No. I think have you guys named the entire Hockey Hall of Fame except for this guy?
Stan Fischler.
Oh,
No, not Stan Fish.
nice.
Come on, type 45. Type
Doc
45.
Emmerich.
Doc. No, it wasn't Doc. Would have been a good choice though.
Mark Howe.
I can't answer that because it wasn't. So why are you asking me how?
Be more funny.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Is anybody else crying from laughing so hard?
No,
my
I'm
goodness. I
crying
can't get air.
because of
I
you.
think the game should be over on the count of rain. Gordie Howe.
Not Gordie Howe. Wasn't a how. Wasn't a why. Wasn't a what. Wasn't a when.
Bobby Hull.
No.
Bobby Ryan.
No.
Bob Ryan. It was a good one. Ryan Suter.
No.
Oh, wait, you said no to the Suter family.
Bobby Holik.
No.
Bobby Brady.
No.
Bobby Bonilla.
No, but
$1 million man.
He might still be getting paid also.
He is.
How about Barry Bonds?
Not I don't know why we went to baseball. No, it wasn't a baseball player. This is
Pirates.
a hockey player.
I get it. Did he play for the St. Louis Blues?
No, he didn't. Do you want me
Did
to
he
give
get
you a
tripped?
couple of teams that he might have played for?
Did he get tripped by the St. Louis Blue player in the final?
If that's who they played in the finals, then I guess. Because I can give you like a list of teams and say he played for this team, or he played for that team, or
What the hell's he doing?
he might have played for another team.
Did he just
What's
have
he
a
doing?
stroke? On
You all
air?
right?
Doing good.
Like
sure?
it could have been Bobby or Brett.
Yes, you're correct.
I would say Brett then.
Right. I would say Brett too.
Brett.
100 times.
Whichever. Bobby or I heard Bobby or somehow. So the game's
Okay.
over.
Oh.
I guess we got that.
Ugh. Nick, we need you back.
Now it's time for trivia with Nick, and since he's not here, that's a no-show, empty net. I think we all win.
That is an empty net goal.
Yep.
So I've got us at
We take
12,
credit.
12
100%.
for 22 on the trivia scoreboard.
And it's not trivia,
100%.
but whatever. It's impressions, but we still win.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. This is going to bring us to this date in Steve's stomach.
Oh, that feels better.
Sponsored by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar.
Right here, we're saving calories. Round here, we all look so lean. Round here, we enjoy Coke Zero, but sacrifice flavor, no. Round here, Coke Zero's the way to go.
please go to the year of our Lord 2015 and then turn your calendars to July 23rd of 2015.
Deep in the middle of summer.
Deep in the middle of summer.
I'm sorry, you said July what?
23.
July 23rd, 2015 was a Thursday.
Woo!
Breakfast was a Coca-Cola Zero 20 ounce with a Kit Kat.
Somewhere Nick just threw up.
But because he's drunk, not because of what I ate.
Right, of course.
Lunch was a slice of pepperoni pizza and a slice of grandma's pie with another 20-ounce Coca-Cola Zero sugar. And dinner was a cheeseburger and Coca-Cola Zero cooked by none other than Ricky Bigelow on the backyard grill. Why did you pick Thursday, July the 23rd, 2015?
Obviously, that was the day in, I'm guessing somewhere in England, where a couple was caught having sex, and this is how I know it's in England, in a phone box in broad daylight. And they went on record to say, we don't understand the fuss. These are my kind of people.
Does the article say she was having a good tag along with his tallywhacker?
No.
I feel like that would be something they would say.
We're so randy.
They
had
go.
Sex in a phone box. Insist they don't understand what all the fuss was about. Amateur boxer Gavin Wayne and 41-year-old Lisa Curley were snapped in a passionate clinch. Jesus Christ. In the middle of the day by a couple who drove past. The adventurous pair said they had previously got it on under canal bridges on the riverbanks, in parks, fields, and hedgerows.
Yeah, we understand they're hedgerow. Sure.
No.
I think they're just bushes.
I would imagine it's the bushes. And Wednesday,
bushes, I guess.
Right. And all these little things on the trees. And Wednesday's boozy encounter was just the latest in a series of outdoor flings. Gavin and Lisa, who, this is very important for the story, who keep piranha fish, said they were
piranha South America. They can't live here.
They were on their way to a garden center to look at the fish section when they stopped in a supermarket to buy a bottle of lager.
They still got Arcadian Gardens over there?
Yeah. And they walked down the road a short time later, and the mood seemingly just took them. Middleweight boxer Gavin told the Sun, we were passing the phone box and laughing and joking, and I said to Lisa, fancy a quickie? And obviously she did.
Yeah, because she was probably feared for her life.
Gavin said, we have had dozens of calls from people who recognize us, but we are not ashamed and can't really see what all the fuss is about. We like having sex outdoors. It's healthy and gives you an extra buzz.
Time's a creep. Time is a weirdo. Where does he come up with the shit? It's so disgusting.
Yeah. And that's really all. They didn't get her they didn't get in trouble.
No, of course not. It's England. All the prudes from there live in the United States.
Yeah.
That's true.
So here's to Gavin and Lisa for having sex in a phone box. I mean, 2015, did they still have
who still got phone booths? What the fuck's up with that?
I don't know. 2015, I gotta think that the phone booths are just non-existent.
I mean, that's a big thing.
It's England. They got like middle-aged castles and shit still standing. They just leave shit out.
They celebrate their phone booths over there.
Yeah, but 2015, I mean, we're what, iPhone 7, 8?
Yeah, but I mean, where else are you gonna fuck if you're in public?
Not in a phone booth.
In a hedgerow?
Yeah, exactly.
Under the fucking London Bridge?
Wasn't that a line in Stairway to Heaven? There was something in the hedgerow?
I don't fucking
And you don't know? I don't know. Billy, you're the music guy.
I am.
Billy, what's
What was the
Billy's
line?
take on? I don't know Billy's take on Led Zeppelin.
What?
Yeah.
Billy, what's your take on Led Zeppelin?
They're good. They're, they got some good shit. They got
Overrated though, or
overrated. Yeah, overrated, and yeah, they ripped off some people. But
they
I
ripped
enjoy
off a
some their
lot of
songs.
people.
I enjoy some of their songs. Robert Plant's. I mean, his voice is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what, I don't
If
know
there's
what to
a
say.
bustle in your hedgerow, that
You could
that
be
was-
right. That could be one of the lines. I mean, I don't know why you would have a bustle in your hedgerow, but maybe her
There's a
bustle.
Well, maybe Gavin and Lisa were out.
Maybe
in the
Lisa's
hedgerow getting a
bustle
little
is stuck
rustle.
in the hedgerow from when they were in there. Yeah, it's a
Little
very good
rustle
point.
tussle. All right.
Maybe she is the fucking stairway to heaven. I mean, some boxer's giving it to some 41-year-old chick. She's got to have something going on for her.
I saw her. She's not.
She's not.
Yeah.
No.
But you don't know what's in between her legs. You don't know what's down there.
You're
It's
right. I
probably
well,
magical.
I have an idea of what's there.
And it wants to be out in public. So, yeah.
I have an idea of what's there. And boy, oh boy.
That's it.
So who got the better of the trade, Calgary or Florida?
Well, I mean, Calgary
Florida
didn't make
made
the
the
playoffs.
playoffs.
So
And Calgary's GM got fired. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I think we know the answer to that question.
So
Yeah.
just to recap, Carolina won 2-1. Boston's up 4-1. 3 minutes left to go.
Did they allow that goal?
What goal?
The fourth goal that they scored was ridiculous. It should have been disallowed.
What the?
If
I
they don't
didn't see
disallow
it.
it, it'll be shitty
If it
call
was
of the week
early
next
in the
week.
third period, then they did. Like 4 minutes into the third period, then they did.
Oh, maybe it's a fifth goal that they're looking at. I don't even know.
Maybe Bill's,
No, they took the goal off. It's 3-1.
Oh,
It's
they just took it off of the app. Yes.
Well,
You're
how is
absolutely right.
Steve Lyons in goal for the Florida Panthers?
He's
Or whatever the fuck his name is.
look up his stats. He's ridiculous. this
Yeah, in the
year.
past 8 games, he played well, but in the game that he played against the Rangers, he got shellacked. And
The game
then,
against
then he played
Pittsburgh.
the next night against the Panthers.
That was one of
for
those hilarious
Penguins.
games.
And it was
Yeah,
what, an 8-7 game?
something like that. Something just ridiculous.
So yeah, his last 8 games, I'm sure they were plenty good. But you're paying Bobrovsky $10 million. He's got to be your game 1 starter. I'm sorry. I don't care what kind of streak this kid is on.
Oh, Tom has spoken. Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
There you go.
and that's GM time with Tom.
Wow.
Bill, I need a song. GM time, with Tom.
Okay.
So if you're Edmonton, do you start Jack Campbell over Stuart Skinner then?
No, Skinner has proven all. He's a Calder finalist.
But you're paying Jack Campbell more money.
Yeah, but you Skinner has proven all year. This guy came in when fucking what's his face when Spencer Knight got hurt.
No, 21-9.
Not
Campbell's
even
still
supposed to be
21-9
here
on the
today.
season.
Have I asked you guys if you saw Clerks 3? Good.
Yes, you did last week.
Ugh.
I
Pay
saw it.
attention.
Yuck. All right. That's gonna do it to us. Good night, Nick, wherever you are in Chicagoland.
Sober up, buddy.
Good
Sleep
night,
well,
Nick.
young buck. Don't forget to follow us on the Twitter at friends_rivals. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We will read them on the air if you want us to. While you're there, turn on notifications for our podcast so you never miss an episode of the Friends and Rivals Tomcast. Billy, say something witty.
So this is going to take a minute because I got to take this opportunity for the witty time to actually do like a little bit of a public service announcement. So as you guys know, the Penguins missed the playoffs for the first time in 16 years. Okay. So for 16 years, all around the country, there's Penguins fans everywhere that have, and some of them younger ones have only known a world where the Penguins have been in the playoffs up until now. And so there's a lot of despondent young ladies around the country. And I plan to use this as an opportunity to play on that and maybe screw them someplace very uncomfortable.
Where? Like the back of a Volkswagen?
Oh, thank you, Steve. So
You have to write it down.
I just want to say, if you want to legally have sex with people, not just girls, obviously, I mean, girls are my preference, but legally have sex with any people who have only known that the Penguins have been a playoff team all these years, they are old enough in the following states for that to happen legally. So Georgia, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Michigan, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, Ohio, Oklahoma, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and Vermont.
Oh, my friends and rivals, flyers fun,